Hello, strong soul. Great to see you in another moment of the now. I come today with a relatively simple transmission, yet it seems that there are some people out there that have been struggling with excess, either one way or the other. I'll try to keep this general so that each one of us can take what resonates most. Yet there's an excess of too much holding back or too much giving out. So I leave you to discern where you're at and if this message resonates with you, because we're being invited to cultivate balance. To is not one way or the other, because sometimes what we tend to do is to overcorrect and go to the other side. And the idea here is to understand that being in the extremes is part of the learning curve. So sometimes we go to the extreme and we experience excess, and the idea is not necessarily to buffer or bounce into the other extreme of the spectrum, but to find our sweet spot. And remember, as humans, we are in a spectrum of experiences. We all have different capacities, we all have different sensitivities, and the idea is to begin to sort yourself out, figure out what point on the scale is your sweet spot, what's your unconditional this was coming through very interestingly. What's your unconditional state of being? What is that state for you that seems the most viable long term, right? There's people that are very, very active. There's people that are a little bit more sedentary, yet we all need a little bit of everything. The very active need some rest, and the sedentary do need some movement and activity in order to stay healthy, right? But we sometimes have a certain predisposition. So this video is in order to bring awareness to where you're at in your spectrum, and to explore balancing and coming into a place of more harmony, cultivating more harmony. If you've been very active, finding more space to rest and to be. And if you've been resting a lot, finding those opportunities to do a little bit more, to put yourself in more active roles that give you also energy. Like I said, we want to keep it simple, but the cue here is what feels unconditional to you, in the sense of daily activities that you can consistently keep up with without burning out. Because if there's something that you're doing and then afterwards you feel burned out, the idea here is to begin to explore if we are being very excessive with that, whether it's too much, like I said, too much rest, too much activity, too much spending, too much saving. I see this at different dimensions depending on the soul. So I want to, like I said, keep it general, but do explore where there's a lot of excess in your life. If you're feeling very burnt out, or if you're feeling exhausted, finding that way to balance yourself. And again, if we are maybe holding ourselves too much or inwards too much, it's time to begin to find that sweet spot. Mind you, going into the extremes. So the idea here is to cultivate balance by feeling, and it's like testing the waters and feeling what is unconditional, what is something that I could keep up on a consistent basis. Remember that the idea here is not all or nothing, is consistency. What can you practice daily in a degree that it doesn't either burn you out or keeps you underusing your potential? So we'll keep it here, short and sweet. If this resonates, I pray that you're able to cultivate more harmony in your life, that you're able to find that balance. Great things are ahead as we explore and cultivate our potential and the evolution of our soul. And as for me, I will see you in another moment of the now.